Hey, Jake.
Hey.
I'm in Oregon right now, and I got bad news. I think we are entering a totalitarian state.
Okay.
I've been on tour. I'm on the Never Say Die tour. I'm all over the place. I'm sure we'll talk about it some. Twice now on this tour, I've been asked to scan a government-issued ID to enter a place of business. What
What?
is happening?
In
Yeah, I
Oregon?
don't know. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Total Recall, but it feels like we are entering Total Recall zone. Like, am I going to have to scan my driver's license or a passport to go to Chipotle soon?
It'll
What's
just
happening?
it'll be imprinted onto your forehead. I mean
Is
that
it the craziest version of this was at a comedy club that I'm not even going to name because I don't want to give them the airtime. They required my ID to go in for an open mic. They
what?
needed to scan a government ID. There were like 5 comics who all knew who I was. I
Yeah.
knew the club owner. The club owner came out to say hello to me in the foyer because I couldn't get past the foyer because I didn't have my ID with me. And so they're trying to get me to go on stage for free to help them, and they won't let me. I'm not even trying to drink.
Yeah.
Like, what is unbelievable? And I'm worried that pretty soon it's going to be like a state law or something
Yeah.
that you need, kind of like you need an ID to get on an airplane, and that
Yeah.
probably wasn't the case 50 years ago. I don't
No.
know. I don't know if you can still drive buses like a Greyhound without an ID, but I feel like this whole world's topsy turvy.
Oh, dude. So I have driven through. I've only been through Oregon one time. I was just driving through it, and something happened in Oregon. This is 20 years later, and I'm like, really, I'm still a little upset about it. Is
Okay.
I was driving through. I'm going to Seattle. I'm in college. I'm going to intern in Seattle. It's where I met Dustin Nickerson, who later became a comedian, but wasn't at the time. And on the way to
I know.
Seattle. There you go. I am. I stopped to get gas in Oregon. I'm a grown man. I go to pump my own gas, and they are like, "No, no, no! You cannot be trusted with this technology." And I swear, this girl that comes to pump my gas is 13 years old. I
Oh,
mean, it's like this middle school girl is pumping the gas because the gas station attendant is allowed to operate this equipment.
oh yeah, it's one of those states. It's
One
like
of
New
those states where
Jersey.
you're like, this,
Yeah,
no, not trustworthy.
yeah.
Uh,
That is funny. It's kind of like an elevator operator.
yes,
I don't think I've ever experienced that.
yeah,
But like my parents' generation,
yeah,
they grew up, you couldn't operate an elevator. They had to have a person just sitting there.
yeah,
That's such a crazy, like, it's so foreign to me that
yeah,
that
yeah.
would be a
I mean, when people try to do things for you that you would prefer they just don't do, like I don't like it when people hold the door open for me. Like
hmm.
I'm a big enough guy that I'm having trouble fitting through the doorway as it is.
Jake, you got to
And
quit wearing that tutu when you go out.
and so people will I hate it, and especially, oh my goodness, if it's a push door, get out of the way. I don't even have to
Mm,
break stride. You're not helping anybody. Just
yeah.
don't even hold the door for me. Just exist. But they'll do the thing where they'll hold the door and then they'll like stand in the doorway.
Yeah.
Like, bro, this is not going to work.
Right.
And sometimes a real insistent, and I have to like turn sideways and like scoot across, and like our bellies rub. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong in your life that you're like, I need to help somebody? Like, this is not good karma. This
Yeah.
is just you're. I don't know. You're the worst. You're not doing good. No one ever needs to be the door held for them.
They're trying to help, but they're
And
they're
then
they're
they
making it
demand,
worse.
oh
Yeah.
my goodness, and they demand that you say thank you. You didn't do anything. I'm not. I'll thank my surgeon. I'm not going to thank some guy who got in the way.
Yeah.
And like
I hear that.
on the thank you thing. Okay, I sneeze. You say bless you. Do we have to keep this conversation going about a sneeze? Can we
Oh,
just
do you have to thank for the
you have to
bless?
thank the bless for the sneeze?
Depends. Are you going to sneeze again?
Well, in my life, I will.
There's a whole chart. You haven't studied the chart? You got it when you got your driver's license. It was part of DMV training.
There's a flow chart of how many. I mean, I say it. I try to be polite. I try to say thank you. You
got to lapse into German sometimes too. If they say Gesundheit, you got to say Dankeschön or whatever.
But I try to be polite. You say thank you. I sneeze. Thank you. Bless you. It's just get out of my life, people. Yeah.
You're welcome. How far can that go? This should be a challenge.
Yeah.
You should try and get a sneeze to go 6 interactions.
Yeah.
You got sneeze. Bless you. Thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
What would come after that? Have a nice day.
Yeah.
You have a better day.
You have a better day.
To get to 6 would be tough.
All right, I'll see you later. Not if I see you first. Yeah.
Yeah. See you later, alligator. Oh, crocodile. Oh man. I had you were telling a story on a recent podcast. Everybody, there is a big back catalog at this point, double digits. Go watch some other episodes or just leave it on a playlist somewhere. Let it play. And you were saying a host didn't show up. I had a feature not show up to a show, and it was a little person, and I was all excited. I didn't know this until I got to the show that the feature was a little person, and that's anything that's unique and interesting in comedy at this point. It's like Groundhog Day, so that's fun to see something different. And the little person couldn't make it, had some kind of driving problem, and I had pretty funny interaction where it was clear that I thought the person couldn't make it because they can't drive. Yeah. And I don't know how the logistics work of a little person. And the showrunner was like, no, he can drive. He just got a DUI. So I'm like, oh, okay, little people can drive, but this one happens to be a drunk.
Yeah, shouldn't drive. Yeah. Shouldn't be driving. Oh, that's crazy, man. That's weird. I have never been there. There's a lot of little people that are comedians.
Yeah.
And I've never been on a show. Well, no,
there's one out of Colorado, Little Lonnie. I performed with him.
No, I was on the show with this one gal. I think she's based in Cincinnati or in Ohio or in that range. Wendy Ferguson, very funny. I want to say she's like 2'11", something like that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's 2'11" because she says it on stage.
Underneath 5 feet, I can't. The math is a gray area for me.
Mind-bogglingly, yeah. No, and but years ago, when I first moved to Kentucky, I was trying to take any gig I could get, just trying to be in the community, just trying to do my part. And there's a guy who's doing roast battles. I'm like, all right, I'll do a roast battle. I don't mind roast battles. I don't know what your thoughts on roast battles. We'll get it.
I love where this is headed. Yeah. The visual in my mind right now is incredible.
And that's the roast battle. They were like, okay, well, I've got an opponent for you. Why don't you look her up and see if you can come up with any material? It was Wendy Ferguson was proposed to be my
35 inches tall.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You are how tall, Jake?
I'm 6'8".
Unbelievable.
I'm actually 6'9", but I find that crass, so I lie about it. So
too bad you're not 6'7".
That's right. That's right.
With the kids these days.
It'd be great. But so that didn't end up happening. She had something else, wasn't able to do the roast battle, and I ended up roasting another fat guy. So it was fat on fat crime. That nice. Roast battle.
Yeah, that show super fun, by the way. Shout out to Bremerton, Washington. Had a great time. Not a huge turnout, but mighty. They were very fun. They were there to laugh. We did the kind of thing where I asked the showrunner the day of, like, how are ticket sales? Yep. I can run some more paid ads. And he said, we could probably use the help. So I threw in some more money. And I told him, I said, look, if you got people who want to come for free or a discount, I'm not, because I had a door deal. Yep. I was like, let's make the show fun. Let's not worry too much about the money. And to his credit, he did a great job. I think half the audience were like basically brand new open micers that got in for free. And they were really, they were great. They weren't like jaded comedians yet. They were really having a good time and brought partners. And so Bremerton, you rule. You were a lot of fun. I had a great time there. I had I shared a stage with a 12-year-old, speaking of little people.
What?
The very next night, I did a show in Everett, Washington.
Yeah.
And there was a 12-year-old. It's the second time I've done a show with a 12-year-old. The first time was pre-pandemic. And that kid was very funny. His dad was a stand-up comedian and was in Los Angeles. Yeah. And he was hilarious. Reminded me of, who's the Denver high school kid?
Yes.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think we've talked about him on this pod before. I forget his name. He's on the Vail Comedy Festival website. If anybody, there's like 100 comedians under the alumni section, but he's in there somewhere. If you want to poke around and find him. Super funny because he could make jokes about, being a teenager and being in high school. And the 12-year-old, it was similar. But this most recent 12-year-old he was fine. He was I'm guessing it was not even his 10th open mic.
Really?
He was like that new, very dirty. You could tell he thought that just swearing was funny, which it is when you're 12 years old. That's pretty funny to yourself, but he needed some punchlines, but he'll figure it out.
No, I think it's Noah Seal.
Yeah, you're right. You nailed it. Nice.
So
Good job. Everybody check out Noah.
Funny, very funny guy. Yeah.
He's terrific.
It is interesting when they're real young like that, and sometimes it's hit or miss. But there's been a couple of high schoolers or first year in college guys who tried to do some comedy here in Louisville. One guy who's done it several times. Another girl who's done it 5-6 times. I've been on shows with just seeing them around.
Maybe 6-7 times.
6-7 times. And we're gonna get
demonetized. I tried that on stage. I have a joke where I say 5-6 something. I'm just saying a number, and I've tried to say 6-7 instead of 5-6 to get young people to laugh. And there's something about the rhythm of 6-7 isn't like I had 6-7 bananas. It doesn't make sense. I had 5-6 bananas.
Yes, makes sense.
Somehow that's more logical. I don't understand why, but 6-7 just doesn't work as a English sentence. 6,7 as a numerical range. Yeah, it just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how like adjectives, how you have to put them in a certain order. You know what I'm talking about? Like I forget maybe this is Patreon material. I'll do a little research. But if you say like the yellow hungry monkey, but instead you say the hungry yellow monkey, that's not the best example. But there's certain words that have to go in a specific order in the English language that we just know because we grew up speaking this language. But if you're not a native English speaker, it's like it doesn't make any sense.
It's tricky. Yeah. You were talking about the scan the ID. I had an ID scanning incident recently on a show last Thursday, and it blew my mind.
We're against this, right? We don't want to have to scan our IDs to go into 7-Eleven, right?
I mean, in 7-Eleven for sure. This was at a show that was serving alcohol, and it was scan your ID. You're still allowed in whether or not you have your ID. It's just if you're over 21, you get a certain wristband. If you're under 21, you get a different wristband.
And I understand that. That's fine.
Yeah, the X's on the hands. They do the hand X thing. Yeah. So this was interesting. I go. This was at the Reader's Choice Louisville. Yeah. So party. This is not set up well for me. But I do some time on stage. I come off and I'm like, it's been a long day. I'm ready to go home. And the party's basically just starting. Most people haven't even come in yet, and I'm already off stage. And I'm kind of hanging out at the front because I was talking to the little door guy about video games. And as I'm standing there talking to this guy about video games, the security guard is standing right there, and they scan this girl's ID, and it doesn't go through. And then he holds it. He holds a light on it, and he's looking at it. He's like, "Do you have your real ID?" She's like, "This is my real ID. Do you have your real ID? This is. Do you have your real ID?" "Yeah, I got it." And then she go, and so I had no idea that this is what happens, right?
You mean like real ID, like the new thing, like the fancy RE, like all uppercase?
No, this is
legit.
fake.
You're okay.
Yeah, this is fake. Do you have your real one? This is fake. And she denied it 3 or 4 times in a row.
Huh.
And then she's like, "Yeah, I have my real ID." And she pulls out her real ID.
Was she trying to? Was the fake ID an older age? Like,
yes.
What was the? Oh, okay.
Fake ID was.
Did he confiscate? I mean, that's like a.
Yeah, he confiscated.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he was showing me, like, this is how I knew. I swear, man, this new ID, this fake ID would have fooled me 10 times out of 10.
Unreal. Was it like a hologram thing?
It had the yeah. It had the hologram.
Oh, wait, the fake one had the hologram?
It had the hologram. It had like the little, like, like weird looking picture. Like you have your regular size picture.
Yeah, the tiny little. Yeah.
As the small one, it's reflective.
Like a dollar bill.
It's like not like cheap laminated. It's like it's real sturdy. It's the right.
Was it a Kentucky ID?
It was Indiana, but I'm in Louisville. A lot of Indiana people are around.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. I was like, this is I'm
so
shocked.
How did he identify it?
He turned it over, and there's a part that fluoresces under the light, and it was kind of peeking through in a way that like real ones don't.
Yeah.
But like really subtle.
Yeah.
Would have fooled me. And so I've never been around somebody getting their fake ID.
I'm surprised they let him in.
Yeah,
I guess they want the business.
Yeah. They put the X's on the back of the girl's hands.
Right.
Honestly, she did not. She looked 21.
Was she upset?
Not really.
Like she had spent a lot of money on the ID or whatever.
She didn't look upset. She didn't look embarrassed. She just looked like, all right, I didn't get away with it. It was weird, man. And I was fascinated. I felt like on safari, like observing something in the wild that I'll never get to see again. And it was so cool. I was fascinated.
Neat. That's the kind of crime you want to see.
Yeah. Where someone
non-violent, kind of white collar.
Nobody really cares. I'll confiscate this. Put the X's on your hand. You're still allowed in the party. It's all good. Like nobody really got mad. But I thought it was fascinating that he just asked, "Do you have your real ID?" And then he's like, they always.
That's a poor choice of words.
Yeah.
Real. It's like overloaded because
it is overloaded.
The TSA needs a real ID these days.
Yeah.
I had a food situation turn around for me. I had a comic that owed me a favor that said they were going to buy me dinner in Seattle. Min Ling, very funny comedian in Seattle. And
okay, so last time on the pod, it seemed like you owed her a favor because she got you some nursing home gigs.
Yeah, she did, and that gig turned out terrific. By the way, best Jake. We've talked about nursing home gigs and how bad they are. This was the best nursing home gig I've ever had. Senior center gig. It was legitimately fun. There were like 40 people, and I would say 10 of them completely checked out. Yeah. Didn't look at me once. Didn't listen to me. 30 of them, some spectrum of paying attention. And probably 15 to 20 paying pretty close attention and laughing and engaged
which is about what I've always experienced at nursing homes. And sometimes you'll do several at the same time, and it's like the first one. Okay, you guys, might need a little bit of help, or maybe you're here because your spouse lives here or something like that.
Right? Yeah, they're different.
And you're coming in, and
then you get to the like assisted memory or the memory ward or whatever.
Yeah. I did one of those one time, and the lady who hired me was in the room, and she was laughing the whole time, and she was like, "Well, I guess that didn't work." Oh my goodness!
Nothing like performing to literally catatonic patients.
Man, it's
like a fever dream nightmare version of Awakenings. Pretty brutal.
But somehow she owed you a favor now.
Yes. Yeah. She owed me a favor. And I had she was going to get me food.
Yep.
And I have a different podcast called Comedy Test Kitchen, and it's every Monday night. It's live. And I'm sorry, it's not Comedy Test Kitchen. Boy, I'm tired. It's early here. Comedy Test Kitchen is retired. There were like 500 episodes of it. It was a pandemic thing, and it turned into Always Bookin Comedy. Always Bookin Comedy is every Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Denver time. You can watch it live. Huge back catalog. I'm sure you've done it. And it's fun. It's a little bit more about show running sometimes, but just chatting with comedians for 30 minutes and get to know people all around the country. Anyways, I had to tape an episode. So I went to the venue early to tape the episode. And I took a glance at the food menu, and not to, what do they say? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth or whatever. I was just horrified. I'd skipped lunch. I was like all excited for this free meal because I'm trying to make money on this tour. You know, I'm counting pennies. And it like the only actual food item was hot dog. It was like,
were you at a bowling alley? What's going on?
It was a brewery, but it was like, I'm sure you've been around enough breweries and comedy venues to know, like there's special rules around liquor licenses, and sometimes you have to serve food, but they're kind of like, it's a half-ass effort, the serving of the food. It's like they're checking a box, but it's not really a restaurant. And that's clearly what was going on here. And I was like, oh, this is really disappointing. Because not only do I have to tape the podcast, but I have to stay for a show, and I'm not going to be able to get off campus and go get real food for hours. And my tummy is rumbling. I'm in a bad scene. And Min Ling, to her credit, comes in. When she shows up, she goes, hey, by the way, I'm not eating hot dogs. I'm going to DoorDash something. What do you want? Boom.
Awesome.
Huge. Incredible.
Scenario.
Incredible.
Wow.
I got Thai food. She's Asian. She knew exactly what she was doing. Seattle is Asia Central. I had to get an account to pay tolls in the state of Washington, and you call in to the Department of Transportation in Washington, and they're in English, Spanish, and then they're talking in Cantonese or something. It's crazy. It's very Asian in Seattle. So yeah, it was really a nice turnaround.
That's best case, man. They just, hey, how about we get some real food up in here?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I was stoked.
That's great, dude. Okay, I've got one weird story. I went to get a haircut. You can probably tell I got a haircut, right?
Yeah.
I got a haircut.
You had that last episode, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you're about a week in. Okay.
Never had a worse haircut. And so I go to Great Clips. I'm a Great Clips guy, right? They have the little, here's what you want. Here's the same thing.
The number 2, the number 3, whatever.
I'll get it when I'm on the road a lot of times because, you have nothing to do all day. So you just
they have the internet. And so like you get a haircut in Louisville, but you go to Cincinnati and they got the same they just look you up. Okay. That's nice. I like that feature.
Nice.
Because I hate that. I got a haircut the other day and they're like, number 2 or number 3? I'm like, I don't speak barber.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway,
make it look clean.
Yeah. So this woman is cutting my hair and she's like, man, you're so tall. I'm so short. I can't reach. I don't know what to do here. And so she eventually does it. And
does Great Clips not have the barber chairs that go down?
I have the barber chairs. And then I'm also slouching and it's the whole thing. And and my wife is waiting in the lobby because we're like, let's get a haircut real quick and go to dinner or whatever. And she's, so the barber lady's doing it. And when she's done, I'm like, this is awful. Oh. This is so bad. I don't get, like, it had this weird line. It had like layers. It was like this weird, like Karen-y haircut. I don't know what was going on with this. And it was way too long in areas. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, why is it wrong right here? And she's like, oh, okay. Well, the other guy that's working here, he can fix it. I'm like, okay.
Wait, so you said something to her?
Oh yeah. I couldn't not. I mean, I was like, this doesn't look like a cut. This was
You're a braver man than I am.
I
I've
know.
never told a haircutter
I
that
know.
they didn't do a good job. I've known, and I've just
Yeah.
said, you know, in my head, my internal monologue, I'm like, in 2 weeks, nobody will know the difference.
Yeah. No, I was like, I have never either. I have never ever either. But as soon as I walked out, my wife was like, that needs some fixing. So I wait for the guy to finish up with his current client, and I go back, and basically does 100% new haircut. I mean, he uses every single piece. He doesn't like leave anything.
Sure.
He does the whole. So I got 2 haircuts in the course of like 25 minutes, and the second one was a lot better.
Nice. I take that back. Once, maybe 20 years ago, they forgot to do my neck.
Yeah.
And I came back like a day later.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I was here yesterday, and they didn't shave my neck. And, you know, when you're a guy, like the neck is like the most important part. That's how you tell that it's like the toothbrushes or the razors that change color as they run out of usability. That's how you know you need a new haircut. That's your indicator. So
yeah, it's interesting that you say that you don't complain about haircuts. I was thinking about something simpler, like you go to a restaurant and there's bad food and you just don't ever say anything, and so you just leave and you just never come back.
I do sometimes
at
at restaurants, because I worked in restaurants for a long time, and
Yeah.
I feel much more comfortable than the average bear
In a
talking
restaurant.
about food. I mean, obviously there's the risk, you know, roll doll, witches, they're gonna do something bad to your food.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah.
I mean, if it's awful and you need it remade, that's one thing. But I'm saying if it's just like okay, and you're just I'm not really. I've been watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And people always say the same thing. No one ever complains. No one ever complains. And then he just looks around an empty restaurant like,
right.
Well, there's your issue. I'm curious about that concept when it comes to comedy and comedy shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's an important skill, especially as a showrunner, to solicit negative feedback. You need to get that. And actually, as a performer, we've talked about this before. I've talked about my own personal paranoia that I might not be as good as I think I am because people are just too nice.
Yes.
You know, I've said this before, these words, I need a really honest friend in the audience to say, hey, there were 5 comedians on the show. You were the best one, or you were the second best one, or you were the worst one.
Yeah.
I did a show the other day where I'm pretty sure I was the best comedian, like not like better than the headliner. It was a big comedy club thing, but I would love to have, I just want the validation, but it's also good like data. I wish I could have asked somebody honestly. And actually the next day I regretted it because there were people who came and bought merch from me, and I would have liked to have walked outside with them and said, hey, can I ask you a question? There were 4 comedians on the show. How would you rank them?
Yeah.
And I think on this particular show, which was kind of an anomaly, I'm not a superstar or anything, but I think they would have immediately said, well, you were the best, obviously. And it was host, me, feature, headliner.
Yeah.
And I felt like I stole the show. Watching the tape, it's interesting. I was really fighting uphill because people were ordering meals and drinks during my set, which made it an uphill battle.
Yeah, and that's where the objectivity of comedy is appealing to me. I don't think you can go. I think you can go too far with it, but counting how many laughs did you get, or I've seen 2 metrics of counting.
Yeah, it needs to be like there needs to be a scale of the laughs.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yes, exactly.
I don't really know how to do that, but sometimes maybe I shouldn't say this publicly. Maybe this should be Patreon, but sometimes I will tape intentionally some of the set before me and some of the set after me as like a level set.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll listen to the audience response to a good punchline of mine, and listen to the audience response of a good punchline of a different comedian, and kind of see like, okay, am I getting similar? Am I doing better? Am I doing,
Yeah. Well, so I've heard two ways. One would be just plain count the laughs, and then you can, there's at least something to that, right? The laughs per minute thing. I think that's better than nothing. If you're just like, hey, just do comedy, whatever, who cares? But I like a good dense comedy show where there's a lot of laughs per minute. I mean, I think the metric that you're shooting for is 5. I've heard this, that the host is somebody that should be able to do 5 laughs per minute for 10 minutes. And then the feature is somebody that can do 5 laughs per minute for 25 minutes. And then the headliner can do it for 45 minutes. So it's, if you see the whole show, one guy really shouldn't seem funnier than the rest. They're just doing their material. One's got more really, really highly worked out stuff. Now, the reality is that's usually not the case. Usually the headliner is head and shoulders above the feature, and the feature is head and shoulders above the host. And it's like, okay.
And the host has the hardest job. It's like a cold start.
Oh, yeah. Hers has such a hard job. Yeah. But so that's one way, is just plain count the laughs. I have found that helpful. But then the other way I've heard is like have a stopwatch. And
but by the way, let me just make a comment on what you just said. I was expecting you to lower the laughs per minute as you got farther along. Like I thought you were going to say the headliner gets 3 laughs or 3 laughs per minute for 45 minutes, because a lot of headliner style is different. Like they get bigger laughs, but they're maybe only once a minute because they're like kind of telling a longer story. They have more room to breathe. But that when you get a laugh, it's like boom, and the whole room like erupts for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, and that's that. So that's where this can be a double-edged sword, right? If I'm just counting the laughs, and you basically count anything as a laugh. Well, what if you absolutely destroy, and then you're having to wait on stage? Like I can't start talking because they're still laughing, right? Yeah. Derek Stroop comes to mind, right? That guy is crushing. Or
it's just continual laughter the whole time. You got people laughing at the current joke, people that are laughing at the last joke, people that are laughing at 2 jokes ago, people who fell out of their chair and are climbing back in.
Yeah. Sam Tallent, he did his. I was at his recording of his Just for Laughs audition. He was at Comedy Works, and he's doing.
I remember that. Was it the one where he does this thing?
Yeah, and he does the where he does the
Uber driver.
I don't remember the Uber driver bit.
Okay,
I have to go back and look. But the bit that I remember, he's
his girlfriend.
The wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm a little fudge judge.
I hate that joke. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. No. I to this day do not understand why that's funny.
I love it. I think it's so funny.
Don't get it. It's not funny. You cannot explain it to me logically why it's funny. The Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory thing. I don't think it's funny at all. The first time I heard it, I didn't laugh. I was looking around like, why are people laughing? And to this day, I dare you to explain to me why that is amusing.
I don't know if I can achieve that level, but so Sam Tallent,
I do think, just for the record, Sam Tallent, hilarious.
Yeah,
and that I remember his set. He's got a joke about his now wife and the humidity in the room. And I can remember his entire set. It's incredible. The Uber driver who's I forget what his name is, but it's like say that it's Lewis. He's like, I've never met a good Lewis. Which seems like a trope, like an overused thing. But he destroys with it. This Uber driver. It's so funny.
He was on a podcast. It was called Let's Talk About Sets is the name of the podcast. Okay. Super fun. I don't think they're doing it anymore.
I think you got this wrong. Let's Talk About Sets. I know that podcast. Very good podcast. I don't think Sam Tallent was ever on it. You're thinking of the Riot Comedy Club guys. They had a podcast called. It was like breaking down bits.
It was it. You're right. It was breaking down.
And it has the Fudge Judge thing in it, because I've looked for that joke online a million times to try and show it to somebody else to say, tell me why this is funny. Explain to me why. And it's in that. If you go look, breaking down bits, Sam Tallent, please, somebody write in, email me, contact form, watch the set and tell me why the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory thing is funny. It's not recognition laughter.
Yeah.
It's not. They're like, there's no reason for it to be funny. That one specific.
This is making it so much more funny to me. I think this anyway. But Sam Tallent in that episode, he talks about the whole set, and then he talks about how they ask him the question, if there's one joke that you want on your tombstone, which joke would it be? He says Fudge Judge. like that's the show that's it that he wants on his tombstone is Fudge Judge. But during that set, he is crushing so hard. And he actually says, "Stop!"
I remember that. I remember that too. That's great. This is like 5 years ago, and I remember everything about that. That's so funny.
I gotta keep crushing, because he's doing this audition.
He's like, guys, I'm on a clock. I'm killing, so I need you to slow down with laughter
so that I can keep crushing, or killing, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so because if your laughs per minute would kind of penalize guys that are doing that, there's another metric also kind of involving time. I don't know if it has a name, but the idea is like, how long is your set? Oh, it's 7 minutes. Okay. Well, when the audience is laughing, you hit go on your stopwatch. When you start talking, you hit stop. And it's basically like, what percentage of your set is the audience laughing? So that would say if those guys that are getting huge, long laughs, would
it'd benefit them.
Benefit those guys.
It's like saber metrics for comedians. We need we need an industry standard. We need like ESPN. We need people to break down sets and analyze.
Which would be kind of fun. I mean,
there are other ways you could do it too, like a decibel level.
Decibel,
you could measure the decibel level, like the average decibel level over a 7-minute set would be a good way. And that's what I've talked about this before, but from stage, your perception of the volume, the decibel level of the laughter is very different than somebody sitting in the back row of the club. And when you're a comic, you're usually sitting in the back row of the club the whole show, except for when you're on stage. So there's no way to apples compare yourself to other comedians based on the decibel level of the laughter, which is very frustrating to me. I wish there was. They should have a light, like at a baseball game or a basketball game where they have like the decibel meter. They should have one of those in the club. That would be cool. Or in the back of the room. I don't know where you would have it. That's crazy. So here's something. This very quick random rant about trees. How much they love trees in Washington. They love trees in Washington so much that in Seattle, in the Capitol Hill neighborhood, they just put them in the middle of streets. And these are streets that are not wide enough for 2 cars, but are 2-way. So you will be driving down the street. First off, a car will be coming at you, and one of you has to like get over into a parking spot so the other person can get by. And half a block later, there is a single tree in the middle of a street with like a very small curb around it. And it's like a miniature rotary that is so small, you can't, like, your car can't get around it. You can't make the turn. You just gotta go straight ahead. You can't, it's not like a roundabout where take the second turn or the third turn. Your only option is the first or second turn. You can't take the third or the fourth turn. I don't like the trees. Get rid of the trees in the Capitol Hill neighborhood. I'm pro tree, just not in the middle of the street. What are they doing there?
It's an interesting stance to come out against trees.
I'm against those trees. Those specific trees. I don't like them. Get rid of them. I've been having a little bit of an existential crisis recently that escalated this morning when my phone alerted me that my YouTube channel is 6 years old as of today.
Wow.
So what happened recently is I've been telling everybody that I've been doing comedy 7 years. And I recently found out I've been doing it 8 years.
What?
I was off by a whole year. I think. I don't know anymore. How can my YouTube channel only be 6 years old? It took me 2 years to start a YouTube channel. What was I doing? This is crazy. I don't understand and I honestly, like, I'm also, maybe I'm dumb at math. I'm having a hard time. Like, is 0 to 3, is that 3 years or 4 years or 2 years? Like, there's a, like, it's off by 1. Like, when you're born, you're 0 years old, right?
Yeah.
And then it's 1 year to get to 1, and then 2 years to get to 2.
Yep. Yeah.
But 2 years and a day, you've been around for 3 years, basically. So, like, the math is confusing, maybe not to you.
No.
I'm having a hard time with this. And now I don't know, Jake, I'm, like, embarrassed to tell people.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm embarrassed to tell people I've been doing comedy 8 years, because in my head, I've been telling people for so long that I've been doing it for 7 years that I suddenly feel like I should be a whole year better telling people that I've been doing it for 8 years, and I've been fibbing for like the last week. So twice somebody asked me how long I've been doing comedy since I realized I've been doing it 8 years. And I told people 7 years, because I'm not ready yet. I'm slowly getting ready to telling people it's been 8 years, not 7.
Well,
and then, of course, there's the caveat. There was the pandemic in there.
We're going to need to check on this. We're going to need to monitor your progress in this.
Yeah, I think 2017, June 2017 is when I started.
That's 8
and
years.
It's now 2025. That's 8 years, right?
8 years.
I keep doing the math. I keep, like, counting the years, and it adds up to 8. I don't understand it. When did it become 8? How long have you been doing comedy?
6.5. Yeah.
How did we overlap so significantly? What was I doing those first 2 years? Maybe I wasn't taking it seriously. Maybe I didn't start in 2017. I have to go back and I found it on one slip of paper, and I don't trust the paper anymore.
This is interesting. This is an interesting thought, because there's a buddy of mine who did comedy recently, did a show, and they're all driving. They did a little carpool. He told me about it, and one of the guys was saying, "This is going to be my 245th show," and the other guy said something like, "This is going to be," the one guy had an actual number, and the other two guys had like estimates. I like having an actual number. That guy.
I know you. I know you.
I'm into it.
You got a tinge of the tism.
Yeah. And so I could tell you what jokes I did on my first set, what day, what venue. I have an audio recording of my very first comedy set. That's how far I go back. And I would like to. I've done this before, and let's get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
The comedy go-to two comedians in a green room. How long you been doing it? Really common question. You've gotten it 1,000 times. I've gotten it 1,000 times. Right. A better question.
Can I say real quick? I've really come around on that. I used to hate that question.
Yeah.
And now I kind of understand why people ask it.
Yeah.
It's very invasive. It's like, because now I'll ask it. And when I'm asking it, I'm basically saying, are you any good at comedy?
Yes.
Because if you say 3 years or less, I'm immediately dismissing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and I used to hate that, but now I've come full circle to understand.
It depends on what your 3 years looked like. And so my suggestion, now this is completely unfeasible. I understand that it's not. The reason why you wouldn't do this is because it doesn't work, not because people can't do it, not because it wouldn't be a good idea. And that would be like, instead of saying how long you've been doing it, like, how many sets have you done? How many times have you performed?
Yeah. How many minutes have you been on stage?
How many minutes
is what you're looking for.
And
stage years. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. 0.1 stage years.
Yeah. That's so much more important.
Yeah.
And we understand that intuitively. And,
and maybe you get like 50% credit for open mics versus booked shows. I mean, you get real complicated. It could be a factor of the size of the audience.
Yeah. I don't think you need to be that complicated. I think if you wanted to do something, like, how many times have you headlined? Is it 0? Is it 30? That's one thing. Okay. If you wanted to go that, I think just plain, how many times have you performed? Even if it's 1 minute, even if it's open mic, even if it's whatever.
Yeah.
Just how many times have you done it?
Right.
And if you have a number, you have a number. Now, most people don't. And whenever I put this little thing on Reddit where like I was basically advocating for this as a better question, and everybody, all these bad comedians came back at me like, "Oh, it's so stupid. Oh, you're autistic. Oh," it's like, no. I'm organized. I like
all these normal human beings.
Normal people. Oh, I don't count. Why would I ever count something that's important to some people? Like, come on. It's not nothing, right?
Yeah,
don't you track your mileage for these things?
Yours is close enough.
Yeah.
Well, but miles, there's difference between highway miles and city miles.
Exactly. But we still think about miles. So if you say, hey, this is a 10-year-old car, it's got 5,000 miles on it, you're like, oh, well, that's barely used.
Yeah.
This is a 10-year-old car with 500,000 miles. Like, oh.
Well, I'm saying that I'm advocating for, if you're going to go to that level of detail, you should talk about the quality of the minutes on stage as well.
Well, that would be nice. I don't think that's necessary. I think because there's a lot of people now. This is not nearly as true in Denver as it is in Midwest. This area, but there's a lot of guys who you ask them how long you've been doing it, they'll say 6-7 years, and they do it once a month, once every 3 months, and it's like, bro, that's not the same. Like if you said, hey, I've been working out. Well, how long you been working out? Well, I work out once a month for the last 7 years.
Right.
As opposed to a guy who's hitting the gym twice a day. There's a way big difference, man.
Oh, unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. Sorry, breaking news. Sorry to cut you off. I'm so glad I looked at this. That slip of paper is wrong. I started on 2018. June 25th, 2018.
There you go.
7 years.
7 years.
I haven't been fibbing. No existential crisis. Unreal. Oh my good. What? That is so funny that I have maybe I'll mention in the Patreon where that slip of paper is. That is a huge typo, essentially. Yeah. I can't believe that says 2017. That's so funny. Yeah, 2018. Okay, so you started in what, 2019 then?
2019, yeah.
Okay, all right. So that makes more sense. I feel like we started around the same time.
Yeah, close.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's see what else is going on. I'm all over the country. We talked about the trees. We talked about the 12-year-old. My existential crisis. What does this say? Can we read my writing? This will come out November 10th. One person. Why don't you take it away? I'm going to try and figure out what this means.
Okay. Well, I was thinking about these theme stand-up shows. So not a theme show like you're doing.
You hate concept comedy.
Concept comedy is, I think we're thinking about two different things. So some of it I don't like. Some of it I don't like. I did like this stand-up game show, and it was so weird. And I was driving there, and I'm like, there are good comedians on this. Why don't we just do a regular set? Everybody will have a lot better time,
Yeah.
And then the drunk show. Okay, I didn't think that made comedy better. But there are others which are basically like comedy tours. Like the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, the original Kings of Comedy. There have been lots of throughout the day, which is just regular comedians doing regular stand-up, just around a theme. And
yes, okay, I like that. I like that verbiage.
Yeah, one of them that I went to recently. It was at the Brown Theater, so it's like at a nice theater here in Louisville. Was the Bored Teachers?
Yeah, they're the most famous theme.
Yeah, very good theme, very funny people, good people. I wanted to chat with them a little bit, but I was like, I'm going to come off as a weirdo if I chat with them too much.
Why?
It was a long line, and
because you wanted to talk comedy with them. You mean?
I was going to try, like, hey, I'm not only a comedian, but I was a teacher for 10 years, so it's like we've got a lot in common. Basically, you should hire me. Yeah. But I didn't. I just said hi, and
You should try and get on the Unteachables. Well, once you're done with this, we'll talk about that.
I know the Unteachables. So one of the guys sent me an email, and I talked to him briefly, but it wasn't about that.
Is it Steven?
I forgot which one.
Or was it Lou? Or Joe?
but I guess you know them all.
I know them all. Joe McKenna, Lou Ferris, and Steve. I forget his last name, but he has an Always Bookin' Comedy episode. If you're interested in the Unteachables, they're like a minor league version.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't really say that of the Unteachable, of the board teachers.
Yeah.
The board teachers are doing like 1,000-person theaters.
Yes.
But the Unteachables are killing it. They headlined Comedy Works recently. They do like huge improv comedy clubs. They're really making Loonies, the Fort in Fort Collins. They're really killing it. Okay, so continue.
Yeah, and so I was thinking about trying to create basically something like that, right? Something like a comedy.
Yeah. I feel like we've talked about this before. It's such a good idea.
Yeah. And so maybe I wasn't really thinking teacher. So, I mean, I think that would be fun, but it's been done. And
how about straight white guys?
Straight white. Hey. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
I mean, come on, not enough advantage. We need more advantages.
That's what you could call it, right? You could say the
privilege tour.
Privilege tour. I think you would get some people to come in. I think they would.
I think you get the wrong kind of audience.
You might,
especially in like Idaho. You got to be careful with what you're doing there.
There's some people who are like, oh well, hey, anyway, that's not what I was thinking. What basically this is a crazy story. A Greek grammarian came through, so he's a Greek grammar professor and like published author on Greek grammar.
I've never heard that word. I guessed what it meant, but I've never heard that word.
The New Testament was written in Greek, so Christians are really into Greek, right? So he's a Christian pastor / Greek grammarian, whatever.
They love baklava.
Yeah.
And Windex. Okay, continue.
Windex, yeah. And so he came through Louisville. There was a Greek grammar conference, and he came in, and and he's also a comedian. And he did a comedy show at this Greek festival, whatever, or I don't even know what it is. It's like this is academic conference that he did comedy at. Anyway, he came by the comedy caravan, the Caravan Comedy Club, earlier the day before, and I was on stage. So he saw me on stage. He's like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing tomorrow." I'm like, "Well, hey, I'm in town. You know, I graduated from that seminary. They'll let me in, so I'll go. I know what building you're talking about." And so I go and I watch him. And so anyway, we become friends. And he's a fun guy. I did his podcast recently. And then we kept kind of chatting offline about basically this of a
grammarian comedy tour.
Greek, only in Koine Greek. So we'll take all of the best jokes from ancient Greek, and we'll say them. We'll do. The idea would be like the blue collar guys, or blue, or the teachers are teachers, or what if you did pastors, right?
Yeah, sure.
Christian pastors.
I'm sure that has to have been done many times.
If it's
in fact, it's in whatchamacallit. What's the TV show about stand-up comedy with God, why can't I remember his name? Pretty clean guy. It was on HBO.
Ooh, I don't know this.
His wife cheats on him in like the very first episode.
Oh, yes.
What's his name?
Yes.
Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes.
And what's the show called? Do you remember?
Crashing is the
Crashing.
name.
Yeah. I mean, like in season 2 or 3 or whatever, he goes on like a bus tour with a pretty famous Christian comedian. And I'm not sure it's branded quite the way you're talking about, but it's a basic idea. He's doing a whole circuit.
Wow, I didn't know this. I have to watch that. So I mean, I'm not saying this is a groundbreaking.
That's a great show, but have you not watched that show?
I've watched 4 episodes ish.
If you're listening to this right now, I'm talking to you. You're driving your car, you're working your grocery store job with your earpods in, you're an investment banker, whatever you're doing, you're interested in stand-up comedy, watch Crashing.
Yeah.
If you don't have HBO, very simple solution. Get a library card. Go to the library. They have old TV shows on DVD. You can get I did this like 10 years ago for Crashing. I got the whole DVD set of Crashing from the Denver Public Library. Watch it on DVD. You don't have a DVD player? Good news. They sell them for like $11 at Goodwill. Go get a used DVD player. You might have some trouble plugging it into your TV, depending on what the cables are, but you'll figure it out. I trust. Anyways, watch Crashing. It's terrific. It's outstanding.
All right, I'll have to get back. I mean, I did see a few episodes and I liked it. I was just get busy, whatever.
Yeah.
But I read Pete Holmes' book. He had this comedy sex guy.
Yeah, I read it too. I didn't love it.
I didn't love it. I like part of it. I like the first part, and then it got real weird.
Okay, so you're trying to start the enthused, religious,
bored pastors. I don't know, whatever you call it.
Yeah. Well, you can't go with bored. That's already been taken. And enthused is more fun, anyways.
Yeah.
The enthusiastic ecclesiasts.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know about ecclesiast.
What is it? I don't even know what that word means.
Can't spell that.
It sounds like enthusiastic. It's got a lot of C's and E's in it.
So you're saying go opposite of bored. So go.
Yeah, you got to go opposite. What is an ecclesiast? This is what this podcast has devolved into. It's you teaching me bite-sized nuggets about religion. Last time it was evangelical.
Yeah,
it's only words that start with the letter E.
Letter E. Yeah.
I don't know what ecclesiast or ecclesiastical means.
I know. So there's a book in the Bible called Ecclesiastes.
Okay.
Ecclesiastical would be things that deal with the church.
Okay.
So like the ecclesiastical, but that's not a word we use.
Sounds like an exercise section.
So there is, and there's what we call like high church, like liturgies and like robes and stuff like that. And I am low church. I've gone to churches in like people's houses and like at movie theaters.
Would your themed tour that to be named, would it be clean or would it be PG-13?
Oh man, it would be squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean. Why then you should be the squeaky cleans.
Ooh.
Or the squeaky, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Because then honestly, you could appeal past church people.
Church people, yeah.
But which you might not want, because I think one of the superpowers of these themed shows is how hyper specific they are. You know what? I just heard I'm in the Pacific Northwest right now on tour, and there's a dentist comedian in Bend, Oregon. I forget his name, but I was asking a comedian who is from Eugene, Oregon. I was asking a comedian who is from Eugene what that guy was up to, and he told me he and another dentist got together and are doing some kind of like the oral fixation tour or something like that. Some silly pun about dentists.
And then you come through and then like that.
You market to churches.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I would not think that, the teacher, the enthusiastic pastors or whatever we're calling this thing, would appeal to comedy clubs as much as the teachers would.
Comedy clubs don't care.
They don't care.
In that way you're saying now, they want to sell chicken wings.
That's right. But
although the church crowds famously don't buy alcohol they suck at tipping and the staff hate them. I hate to say that came off a little bit. They
don't buy alcohol. Yeah. I don't buy alcohol.
They just, right.
I don't mind you saying that.
Right.
But the thing that doesn't even matter. That's because every church is already right this very second set up
for light, stage, sound,
a person standing on stage and talking. And that's all we're talking about. So I think it would be a church tour. I think it would be like churches around, like that's how you would do it. But,
I mean, I fully endorse this venture. You should totally do this. Get rich and famous doing it. I'd be happy to open for you.
Fantastic.
On the what does ecclesiastical mean tour. Unbelievable. All right. Well, we got to wrap this up. Any last stories, or should we just go into plugs?
I think we just plug it up, man.
All right, what are we going to talk? We'll talk about on the Patreon. I'll talk about money. I can tell you exactly how much. I just did the budgeting this morning on how many dollars I am up or down on my 18 night 20 show tour that I'm currently on night. Let's count it off together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm halfway done. I just did show 10 last night. So I'll talk about specifically about the money, what I've been spending money on, whether I'm making money or losing money, and how that's worked. We'll do that on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So this is coming out November 10th. So I am completely unprepared. Why don't you tell us where you're going to be, and I'm going to look up online. Oh, well, also one last little thing. Earlier in the episode, I talked about the order of adjectives in English, and I gave a terrible example. Listen to this from online. The standard order for adjectives in English is opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose. If you go out of that order, it doesn't sound right. Like, let's try 2 sentences here. A lovely little old rectangular yellow French wooden rocking chair is good. But check this out. A wooden rocking chair, lovely little old rectangular yellow French would sound incorrect. That doesn't make any sense because they didn't put the noun at the end. But anyways, that is a real thing, and I was questioning myself. All right, what do you got coming up?
I got a show for a religious organization, which I know you love, on Thursday. Okay. But then I'm going.
Hey, buddy, if there's an audience and it's paying, I'm in. I do
true.
church shows.
Yeah. But the going to Oklahoma City for the first time. Never performed in Oklahoma on the 15th, and then coming back to Nashville on the 21st. So fun shows. Awesome. High fame shows.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. November 19th, I'm in Frisco, Colorado. FriscoComedy.com for those tickets. With Graham K from the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Comedy Cellar out of New York City. Going to be amazing. The next night, also with Graham K in Gypsum, Colorado. Information at ValeComedyShow.com. And Sunday, November 23rd, I'm in Castle Rock, Colorado. CastleRockComedy.com. For those tickets. That weekend, the 21st and 22nd, I'm pretty sure I'm going to sneak up to Boulder to the, oh man, it is early here. What is that club called? There's a club in Boulder.
The Comedy Sense?
Yes, Comic Sense. Thank you. CENTS. And I will probably be doing a guest spot one of those nights, Friday or Saturday night. It might be at Denver Comedy Lounge doing a guest set the other night of that weekend, unless I can book something that pays better. Still about 2 weeks to go on that. You can contact me at markmasters.co. Please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Mark and Jake, which we're about to roll over to right now. Click the like button, subscribe, etc. This has been Mark and Jake. Try to make it. Thank you so much, everybody. Have an awesome week. Bye-bye.
Later.